Did you get all nostalgic?
McCallum's, no.
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah. We drove by it the other day. I was saying the first time I come to Vegas, they stick me in an Irish pub. And then the first time I got to Rio, they stick me in an Irish pub as well.
Where was the food better, in Brazil or here?
I didn't eat in the Irish pub in Rio.
That was your first trip to America, right? I remember we talked about that.
Yeah, it was, yeah. I was there to get my visa sorted for Boston. I had to go to Canada first, and then Vegas, and then into Boston.
Has your perception changed on the time? I mean, like, you arrived probably thinking one thing, now you spent time in SoCal, you've been here plenty.
Yeah.
What's it been like?
I don't know, it's been a crazy journey. Like, last night we shut down the Vegas Strip. Walking down the Vegas Strip and there's smoke, like there's camera, like it was literally like a scene out of a Hollywood film. There's cameras, there's smoke coming out, there's about 50 Irish people with Irish flags screaming behind me all the way down the Vegas Strip. I'm thinking I was collecting the social welfare about 2 years ago. You know what I mean? It's absolutely madness. So I like to take it in and be grateful for it and enjoy the ride.
Have you been able to do that? You've been so busy, man. You've been pulled in so many different directions. Have you been able to step back and kind of analyze these last 2 years?
You know, I enjoy work. I enjoy it. I don't want to be nowhere else. That's what I was saying to my guy yesterday. I was listening to the first episode of Embedded. Jose has his kid and his wife, and they're going to miss him, and he can't wait to be home. I feel better at work. I enjoy work. You know what I mean? So I don't have nothing else but this, and I don't want nothing else but this. So that will be the difference I feel. You know what? I want to be here. I enjoy being here. I don't feel he does.
Are you kind of planning on that going forward? No, like growing a family, no marriage, all that stuff. This is going to be your life for the next decade?
Right now, I am married to the game. I'm married to this game. So I have a girlfriend. I have my family, of course, but I am married to the game right now.
You talked about the welfare that you had been on prior to your first UFC fights and all, and I was wondering if having that experience, having been there in the past, if it keeps you hungry getting what you have now and remembering those days.
100%. Like I said, I don't ever forget about it. I never ever forget. Never ever forget where I came from or what I came through. And definitely keeps me motivated. And one thing that I noticed with other people, maybe when they start getting a taste of the finer things, that's when comfort sets in. But for me, I almost get more uncomfortable the more good things come in, because I must push on and continue and get more. It must be constant.
You talked about the first trip that you had to Vegas. I remember you rode with the Don in the Ferrari. Do you have your own this time around?
No, not yet. We'll see though after this one. I might have 4.
The travels that you had to Brazil, it seemed like the locals were starting to embrace you there a little bit. What was the gist that you got from being in Brazil those few days?
It is what it is. They're passionate people. They want to see their boy win. They want to go at me. They want to fight me as well as I want to fight them. But to be honest, they are passionate people. They enjoy the sport, and it is what it is. They definitely love me. Make no mistake. They might not admit it now, but they will admit it after.
What did you think about their Q&A session there at the big press conference?
I've had a few Q&As with them now. It's not really a Q&A, it's just a verbal onslaught. But I enjoy it, and I give as good as I get.
Did you get a sense of who your opponent is in Brazil?
Not particularly. I got more boos than he got cheers, if that makes sense. So, I don't care about anything like that really. I'm just going to do my business. As far as how big, size-wise, I towered over him. I'm going to maul him. I'm going to go in and just break him down bit by bit. For me, I've never been hurt once in my career. I've never even been phased, or I've never even taken a back step once in my career. You know what I mean? On the feet in exchanges. Honestly, it tickles me when the featherweights hit me. You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt me one bit. I don't feel nothing. So I'm going to march him down and break him down.
Conor, you talked about you don't forget where you came from. A lot of us don't really know what your life was like when you were a kid. Manny Pacquiao grew up and he lived in a cardboard box for a while. That was literally where he lived. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and sort of where you came from and how life was like for your family as you were growing up?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I was not living in a cardboard box. I was we lived okay, you know. We got by. We never had a lot of money, but we done okay. But as a man, you need to. It's not about like you need to get your own money. And I was 22, 23, 24, and I was just doing this training and didn't know what I was going to do really, and whether it was going to pay off. And there's obviously little thoughts in your head that this doesn't pay off. What am I going to do? Am I going to teach fitness classes? You know what I mean? I don't want to be doing stuff like that. So I don't know. I just stuck with it, and it paid off for me. But I was not living in a cardboard box like many. You know, my parents done well. They worked hard for me. My mother and my father. They worked hard to give me a good upbringing.
Do you take after them? And second question on that, how did they respond to like what we might call your craziness, all your your over the top comments and the stuff that comes around you? How does your family react to that? Do they say that's Conor, or is that like a character that's
No, there's no character. There's no character. That's who I am. I'll speak the truth. You know what I mean? I like to have a little bit of fun as well, but it's no character. If the cameras are here, if the cameras weren't here, I am still the same.
You've been having a little fun with Aldo in some of those stare downs, particularly the last one that showed up on Embedded. You're able to hear you kind of prodding at him a bit. Do you feel like you're kind of awakening a sleeping giant at all?
I don't know. I feel fear has a strong stench, and he is reeking of it. So that's it. I simply see fear.
How so? What do you see when you look at it?
Glass. I look. His eyes turn to glass. You know what I mean? I honestly think they do think it's a joke, and they do. They think, you know, he must have been looking at my career, coming up and hearing the talk. Oh, it's all talk. 1 KO. No, it's all hype. Another KO. He's just a joke. Another KO.
Your diction, your choice of... Did I interrupt? I apologize. Were you continuing?
No, you can go.
Okay. Your choice of words, where do you get your material?
From my brain.
I mean, any history of extra English classes when you were younger, or where do you think you are so... How did you become so eloquent?
I don't know. I didn't think I was eloquent, but I don't know. I'm speaking.
Conor, what was the deal with the stare down in Brazil? What became of don't touch me, you touch me, you're done? Or what was that whole thing when you guys were staring each other about? You know, you don't touch me, or did he say that to you, or did you say that to him?
He said absolutely nothing to me. He said nothing to me. He had his opportunity to say something to me. Like I said, they think it's a joke. And then KO after KO after KO after KO. Now I'm here in front of you. It's still a joke. I feel they think it's an act. I honestly feel some of them think it's an act. That's where it fucks them up. They think it's an act. And then we're face to face and I'm ready to go. And there's no cameras around, I'm still ready to go. Backstage, I'm ready to go. And we were face to face and I was ready to go, but nothing was said. So that's okay. As long as you don't say nothing, don't ever mention my name in vain, and you're good.
Besides your skills, what makes you a better fighter than any of the featherweights?
My belief. I have a belief in myself that nobody can stop me.
Jose says that he's not taking this fight any different than he takes any other fight. Do you think that's possible in any way, or do you think he's kind of faking it when he says that he's looking at this like just another fight?
Do you?
No, I don't. I think this is a big fight. He says it's like any other fight. I find that hard to believe.
There's never been nobody like me. I don't care what anyone says, through all this shit. There's never been nobody like me. And he's never experienced nobody like me. Whether he's fought in main events, whether he's fought for belts, it's a completely different experience when you fight me. We're going on a world tour. We're all over the globe. You know what I mean? When you sign to fight me, it's a pressure bubble that surrounds people. And then you've got me in your face about to take your head off. People crumble under it. And everyone has crumbled under it. And when I came face to face, that's why I wanted to come face to face and look him dead in the eye. He crumbled. And not only did he crumbled in his hometown.
What does it mean to you to be a part of this world tour?
It's brilliant to be running the game. You know what I mean? The game that I love. I love this game so much. So it's good to be on top of the mountain.
He said that he studied you, watching your fights. He knows everything about you. And he's going to exploit that, I would assume. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. I mean, how can you know everything about me? Look back at all my fights. Every single fight, I come out with something new. A new shot, a new reaction. Every single fight. Go through my whole UFC career, you'll see a new shot added. Go through his UFC career, you see the same formula over and over and over again. You see the same reaction over and over and over again. I'll give him that reaction. He'll go into his pattern that he always falls into, and I'll stop him off of that. So let him study, because I will enter the contest formless and fearless. His study will be useless.
Have you studied him? Do you study your opponents?
I used to not really look into them too much, to be honest, but when you're in the UFC, you're watching the events, you see everybody coming up, so I know every shot everyone throws. I know what way they move.
To Aldo's record, he's only been submitted once his entire career, never been stopped by strikes. When you look at that, how do you feel that you can penetrate and be a difference maker in that aspect?
I definitely believe I could submit him too. Who knows? But I feel my power will be too much. I said it before, when I hit them, they fall every single time. Like realistically, looking at like the zombie fight or the Lamas fight, both of them, they left without a scratch. You know what I mean? They were never really hurt. He celebrated that zombie win like he stopped him himself. The guy tore his shoulder and he's running around the octagon celebrating like he stopped him himself in his hometown. He's not going to touch me. I'm going to walk through everything. I could stand there and let him hit me. That's how confident I am. He doesn't have that stopping power. He doesn't have that fight IQ. Couple that with the mental game, I will break him.
Talk about that mental warfare. You said that he crumbled in front of his own people. How effective is mental warfare in this game?
It definitely affects you. You know, if it affects the people around you, if it's affecting your teammates, your coach, everyone's emotionally invested into it, that it becomes so big that come fight night it's too big. So it definitely plays a part. But for me, I've been in this since day one. Every fight I've been in this situation. He has not.
Technically, you might not have been very impressed with Jose in that fight against Chad, but he did take some really big shots and come back. Did he at least gain your respect in that sense that this guy isn't going to go away? He's not going to lay down. I mean, I know that you feel you hit a lot harder than this, obviously, but he showed some fight in that fight, I think.
Yeah, I showed my respect to a great contest. They slugged it out back and forth. Both men put on a great show. I would have got in the octagon only for he was banged up. But yeah, fair play to him. Thankfully, the fight is in Nevada. Thankfully, we are in a new age of the sport. Thankfully, the Nevada State Athletic Commission are doing out of competition testing. We are not in Brazil now.
You finished many fights in the first round. How do you see this one going?
It will be decided by the first. It will be over by the first. It will be a formality after that. How long? We will see. But it will be wrapped up by the end of the first round.
Conor, you said thankfully it's in Brazil, or it's not in Brazil. Kind of hinting, is that something you think might have played a factor in Aldo's career?
Who knows? But all I know is I am happy that we are here in Vegas, and it's a new time for the sport.
Are you happy about that new time? Obviously, you're referencing it. You don't hear a lot of fighters. I don't even know if a lot of fighters know that July is kind of the mark for that. I'm not aware, but you seem pretty aware of it, and you're happy that's happening.
I'm leading the game into a new area. I'm leading the game now. So I will lead the game in the fight against performance-enhancing drugs as well.
Do you think UFC should have more fighters with your type of personality?
You know, the UFC just don't really need anything. You know, you can't be anybody but yourself. Just be you. Come up and be yourself. You know, you start trying to be somebody. I see people trying to be like me, trying to dress like me and trying to talk like me, and then at the same time trying to say I'm all talk or I'm a joke, but yet they're following the formula. You know what I mean? But there can be only one, my friend. So the UFC don't need anything. The success of this year has been phenomenal. The time is now. Chapter was record breaking. Welcome to the show, and now the next chapter, the McGregor era. You know, it's been a phenomenal 2015, and we will continue rolling.
International Fight Week is a huge event here in Las Vegas, not just for MMA fans, but also for our economy, with everybody benefiting from taxi cab drivers to waitresses, with all the people that come into town. What is it like to know you're impacting a city?
Yeah, it's brilliant, because funny enough you say that, because I've been thinking of changing my fight name recently. I don't know about the Notorious, I like the Notorious, but I've been thinking because of that, I've been giving people work. Everywhere I look, someone has a job off of my name. I see people getting fights off of my name. I see people writing articles off of my name. I see people in work, and I like that. So now International Fight Week, I'm going to bring the boom. That's why I feel my new name, the Celtic Tiger, fits, because here comes the boom.
Conor, you seem pretty convinced in your mind. July 11th is the day that you're the new champion. But you said he's scared and he has pulled out of fights in the past. Is it something that's crossed your mind that he can pull out? And how much would it bother you to push that back when you become champion?
He has pulled out of numerous contests. He has pulled out of numerous contests that were set on United States soil. So I hope not. But who knows? All I know is I will be there.
The fans for this fight, obviously, we're expecting to be loud, a lot of from your country and his. How does that fuel you? And also, how do you keep that under control, that adrenaline, to make sure you keep on your game plan and don't get too caught up into the emotion of the fight and the crowd?
Sorry, say that one more time?
Obviously, for this fight, there's going to be a lot of fans there. There's going to be a lot of screaming, probably a lot more than even usual. How does that fuel you when you're in the cage? But also, how do you keep that from not taking you from your game plan, but keeping yourself concentrated, not getting caught into it?
It's a special skill, that one. To be able to walk in and not block it out, because you don't want to block it out either, because you feed off of it, but you don't want to get full. You don't want it to fill you up either. So it's a special skill, that one, but it's a skill I feel I've mastered. I just feel comfortable in there.
You know, Floyd Mayweather always talks about like the big fight moment, and how once you get in the ring with him, it changes and people change and the atmosphere changes. Do you think you're doing that to everybody that you face? That when they come in, whatever game plan they had, they've been disarmed by the time they get in the ring?
When you sign up to fight me, it's a whole different ballgame. It's that simple. It's a whole different ballgame. It just swarms people. And they start shrinking in their seat. Their eyes start watering. Their bottom lip starts quivering. They're fighting McGregor now. So, definitely, I feel they crumble every time.
What is it particularly that you feel separates you from the other featherweights in this division?
I don't know. I am ruthless. I'm going in there too. You have two ways. You can show up, you can be respectful, you can speak my name with respect, or you can speak it in vain. You speak it in respect, take your loss like a man, and you can carry on with your career. Speak it in vain, and you will leave with no career.
Jose Aldo just told us, if Conor tried just to touch me during the promotion for this fight, something bad's gonna happen. How this sounds for you?
What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? He had his chance. He done nothing. It's fear.
You said people get caught up in the moment.
I might touch him now.
You said people get caught up in the moment, and as the fight gets closer, they change. Do you notice that change while you go through the first press conference, then the fight week, then the weigh-in, then seeing them face? Do you notice that change taking place in them?
In them?
Yeah, in
100%.
them.
It's a roller coaster of emotions, the fight game. You're hyped up 1 minute, you're tired the next. You know, it's something that you must. It's almost like a separate discipline. You've got your boxing, your jiu-jitsu, your wrestling. Media is a discipline in itself. That whole circus is something that you've got to pay attention to because it can take it out of you. And I honestly feel people lose the fight through that. People can lose the fight through that. It swallows them up. So definitely for me, it's something I enjoy. I've been doing it. I've had it since I stepped foot inside the octagon. I always felt like I had it since before I was in the octagon. So it's another day for me. But people definitely crumble, and I can definitely see them crumbling. What was interesting to me was that he crumbled in his hometown. He crumbled quicker than them all. He crumbled quicker than every last one of them. So I enjoyed that.
Conor, you said you've seen it happen. Can you give us an example where you saw a fighter where you thought he melted under the bright lights and didn't perform like you thought he might?
I mean, every single one you got to look at. Look, when I came in with Brimage, he crumbled. He had never experienced anything like that. Brandao in Dublin was an interesting one because he was convinced. Because I'm an executive producer on a documentary series that I've been doing, a 6-part series. It's on national television. So we watched. I've been going through footage and making the episodes. But one of the episodes was we had Brandao. He was like, I can't wait to see him off camera. I want to see him off camera. You know, the fight was done when I was watching this footage, but I actually was amused by that. Saying, what do you mean? Oh, they think it's on camera. They think it's off our camera or some shit. I don't know, but when we saw each other and there was no cameras around, he knew what happened. So he crumbled as well. But Dustin was another one. Dustin was eaten alive in there. And Dustin, I mean, they're all good people. And I mean, it's business. Business has no, like I said, I tweeted something out the other day, business does not pity the weak. So it's business at the end of the day. But these people are good people, you know, so I don't hold ill feelings to them, but they crumble, and it's that simple. And I can be nothing but ruthless. This is it. Business is ruthless.
I know you can't get into somebody else's head, but as a smart person, observer of the sport, when you look at Chael against Anderson the first time, when Chael kind of turned up the heat on him, where Chael had that non-stop talk, and really, do you think that affected Anderson's performance as another fighter? When you look at Anderson, did you see any difference in him than you had seen in his previous fights?
Yeah, I mean, it's something he had never experienced before. But I am not Chael Sonnen. People make that comparison a lot. I am not Chael. I am me.
When you're talking about Jose crumbling, I'm sorry, what are you referring to? Just his demeanor down there on this recent trip? In Rio?
Mm-hmm.
Just the stare down, and you thought he should have said something to you?
Only me and him can really know. Because when you look in the eyes, I said the eyes do not lie. When you look into somebody's eyes, you can see who wants it and who does. You can see who wants in and who wants out, and he wants out.
Yeah. So how do you celebrate if you win the belt? This is something, a climb that you've been doing for a while. You got any idea of how you would celebrate that moment? I'd
expect everyone in the top 10 of the featherweight division to line up and beg for forgiveness, beg to be pardoned. If they do that, I will hand the featherweight belt back and I will go to 155.
We already saw how the stop was in Brazil, as expected. Its fans were going loud, crazy. How loud and crazy do you think it will be when the stop goes to Ironman? How are you expecting the fans to come out for you?
Of course. the Brazilians and the Irish, we are as intense as each other. It's going to be a phenomenal night inside the MGM. Make no mistake, it's going to be electric. Someone was asking me, one of the Brazilian reporters was asking me, the chants are vamos here, and there's only one. What do you think it's going to be like when they collide? And I was like, the Brazilians won't even be heard. The Irish will flock on the fight capital, and everyone that gets off that plane will be ready to fight, not just me. I don't think the beautiful city of Las Vegas knows what it's in for.
Considering how the Brazilians, when they did the Q&A, the type of question, the type of reactions they had towards you, do you think when the stop is made in Ireland for this tour, that your Irish fans are going to have the same type of reactions and questions towards Aldo? And how do you think he's going to react to it if you feel he already kind of broke down in Brazil?
Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will go at him the way they go at me. It is what it is. It's the fans. They want to see. You want to see a hometown boy win. You know what I mean? The people that show up will show up with intent. So I expect it to be electric. I believe it sold. They had tickets for the event, and they were gone in like 3 minutes. You know, the Irish people are supporting me unbelievably, and it motivates me to go and take over.
You talked about your documentary, the 6-part series. I remember the last time you did one of these here in Las Vegas, you spoke about possibly getting it on television in the States. Has there been any progress on that?
Well, we got the first one on Fox. We had the first one aired on Fox, and now we've been in discussions with Fox. We have negotiated a deal, and it will be aired on Fox Sports 1, as well as Globo in Brazil, and we were also discussing UK networks as well, and I am flying. I believe there's the Cannes Film Festival or something in Cannes that we are heading over, and we will sell the documentary to networks worldwide. When I make a video, I make 7 figures off of it. When people make videos about me, they stick it on YouTube and get laughed at, like that stupid video that gets made, or the little videos I see people making. So that's the difference. I make videos and it goes out on Fox and breaks records. They make videos and post it on Facebook.
Will you be doing another one also in addition to try to lead up to this?
We are in discussions. So I feel for this one I would like to do a movie. Cinemas worldwide. This is going to be a phenomenal event. It's going to be historic. I believe maybe 8 weeks out I'm moving to Las Vegas just to customize to the heat. We have a nice big house out here. We're going to put up a big gym in it, do it properly, have a chef, have the whole team out here. Again, I'm doing something that hasn't been seen. When you see the documentary, I feel you will be blown away. It's footage that has not been seen before. It's backstage UFC footage, and not one of you here who have been following this sport your whole journalist careers, I'd imagine, have seen this type of footage. So you can thank me when you see it. But I am happy to be giving people an insight into what goes on in this business, the fight business. And we are in talks, and we will see how it goes if we can work it out. But I believe we will do a feature film for the world title fight.
Speaking of historic, this is the first time that a lighter weight class is being featured in the main event on a UFC fight card. When
there was one at a time.
Oh, okay.
And Jose Aldo was the co-main event. He co-main event to Renan Barão, Uriah Faber. I said on the night when that card happened, he was in the co-main event against Ricardo Lamas. Yeah. And I said, you're the pound for pound, I tweeted him, I said, you're the pound for pound co-main event champion of the world. Now he fights me. Now we're ahead of the 170-pound division, the division that ran the game for so long. Now we have jets fired up and ready to take us to LA, to New York, to Boston. We closed down the Las Vegas Strip. We done a Hollywood style we done a movie last night out on that strip. So, like I said, it's the McGregor division.
How did that conversation go, setting that up with Uncle Dana?
Set him up, the Vegas stuff?
Yeah, putting you in the main event here.
There is no conversation. It's the money fight. The money fight goes first.
What's it like being you in Dublin right now?
It's good. My people support me. It's good to be me.
I know everything, all your money comes because of the fighting, but you make more in the cage or outside the cage. You mentioned 7 figures for a documentary. That's pretty good. Are you making more outside the cage than you do?
It's evening now. It's evening now. After this fight, I'll be making more inside the octagon.
Any movie deals down the road?
I am not, I'm not interested in that too much. Now I'm saying that I had a bit of fun last night. I always said I don't really like I don't like acting. I can't act. I mean, like absolutely hate. I hate when people try and put words in my mouth and get me to say, you know what I mean? Get me to say things or get me to. I can't do that. I can't play that game. So I don't see acting in the future. But if someone starts waving multi-7-figure checks, you know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see what happens. I had a bit of fun last night. That was like a Hollywood film last night. I had a stunt. I had a double. They actually had a double for me. That's how big that was last night. With some bloke walking around, we had the same clothes, and the reason he was, and Jose had a double as well. And the reason we had a double was, so I'm standing on the strip, and the fans are behind, and the double makes the walk, and he makes the walk over and over again until it gets right. And I'm sitting there just watching. And then when it's my time to go, whoop, bring the star in. I make one walk, and then I'm gone. If you can do that for that kind of money, that's the easiest thing ever. Who knows? But right now the fight business is the business I love. It's the business I want to be involved in. I don't want to be in show business. I want to be in the fight business.
Is there any fighter that's made a movie that you enjoyed, like Rampage, Ronda, and any of the ones that there have been a number of fighters that have been in movies? Any of them that you thought were good, or that the fighter did a good job as an actor?
I've never actually watched, to be honest. I don't watch too many movies, if I'm being honest. I watch some, but it's very rare. Like one every good few months. I mean, I can't really. I don't know why. I just can't sit down and shut off. I can't donate 3 hours of my time away from the fight business.
You mentioned moving to lightweight, and everybody lines up and kisses the ring after this fight. Does that mean that you think that Jose is the top? I mean, obviously he's the champ, but is that because you feel like there will be no more challenges in this weight division, or is growing your body's getting bigger and it's being more comfortable? Or?
It's definitely a little bit of both. Obviously the weight cut is not easy. I make it, and I make it professionally, and I rehydrate professionally, and I go in there and I am on point 100% every time, and I am a monster to these people. But still, if training for a lightweight camp, training for a featherweight camp is completely a different approach. I enjoy featherweight. They are slower at featherweight, and I am not small at featherweight. My training partners are welterweights as well. So, but there is obviously still some questions that the fans want asked. The wrestler question, the Frankie Edgar, the Mendes, the Lamas. Shouldn't even put that idiot in there. But unless they come up and kiss my feet and apologise, then I will go at them, and we will answer the wrestler question for the fans.
Don't you want to answer that wrestler question before you leave this division?
I don't really give a shit. It makes no difference, as long yeah, why not? We will see how it plays out.
From a marketing standpoint, it seems like you, John, Ronda, right there. Are you primed? Can you be the number one, person in the UFC in terms of marketing and that sort of thing worldwide?
Yeah, I think this is going to smash pay-per-view records. I think I'm going to compete with Mayweather Pacquiao. That's what I think.
$4 million?
We will see. Is that what you estimate Mayweather Pacquiao to be?
3.5.
3.5? I don't think so. I am not interested in that one as much as that.
You can bet on it.
Have you started training yet? I mean, you mentioned that the relief comes when you get into the octagon and the work is in the gym and the media. When you start training, and is this much time a strain before the fight?
I always train. I train on the go. Last night we were doing. What were we doing last night? Oh, we were doing that video shoot, but before that we had to do an in-studio thing as well, so it was like the green screen type thing. And then I done a photo shoot. But we're working hard. Nobody will ever deny my work ethic, inside the octagon or outside. I am a workhorse. I work my ass off. So when we went to the Ultimate Fighter gym on the break, I had like a 2-hour break, and I went and done a session in the Ultimate Fighter gym. The day before that, we had media stuff to do, and I went and done a session in the gym at the Palace Station office, the private gym, down there in the basement. So I work on the go.
When would you say you're going to be officially start your training camp?
I am always training, so I don't know. I suppose when I go home, I will. When this is over, I suppose you could officialize it then. But I'm preparing to fight right now.
One more question, maybe?
Mayweather Pacquiao, who do you got?
I think Mayweather stops him. I think Mayweather stops him in the later rounds. I feel Mayweather has aged better. Through Manny has aged more through wars inside the ring. Mayweather has aged better with his defensive intelligence. I think he'll stop him towards the end.
Thank you.
All right.
Am I just looking at everyone's camera? Or?
You're no longer employed, right? The Celtic Tiger.
I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think you can give yourself your own nickname.
I can do what the fuck I want. Do you know what the Celtic Tiger is? See, I don't think the Americans know. The Irish will know. What it is was the Celtic Tiger was an era where everybody was in the money. Everybody was rolling in the money before the recession hit.
Okay.
That was the Celtic Tiger era.
So that's where
and I'm bringing it back. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just playing around. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just fucking with you all.
Very good.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.